Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters. I'm your host Mitch, glad to have you here. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about Commander on a budget. Today we've got an episode of Break the Bank. On episodes like this, we're going to take one of our Commander's Quarters decks and up the budget to $100. Sometimes you just love a deck so much that you're willing to put a little more into it to get those upgrades. And these same rules are going to apply for our overall deck cost. So shipping will be included in the price, commanders at $10 or less are going to be included, and basic lands will not be included. Decks on this channel are built to be fun, inexpensive, and focused. If you want to learn more about what a focused commander deck is, check out this video here. On this deck tech, I'm going to take you through its strategy, the tactics, and how this deck wins. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. And while you're at it, subscribe and review our podcast as well. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCGplayer affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. Today's Break the Bank comes to you courtesy of Matt, a Golden Pig tier patron. Matt has been supporting this channel for over a year now. I truly couldn't do this without amazing patrons like Matt. So today we're going to break the bank for Matt's deck tech on Temmet, Vizier of Naktamun. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I highly recommend checking it out first. But if you've already seen it, then let's get into it. So let's get things started off with what's in. With this upgraded budget, what things are we bringing into the deck? First up, let's upgrade the ramp package with Fellwar Stone, Talisman of Progress, and Smothering Tithe. Fellwar Stone costs 2 and it can tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. This is a fantastic mana rock that generally can tap for either of our colors most of the time. And then Talisman of Progress also costs 2 and it can tap for colors or it can tap for either of our colors but deals 1 damage to us. 1 damage is a small price to pay for that kind of mana fixing. Both these mana rocks are strict upgrades to the majority of our mana rocks that we already have in the deck. But a huge way for us to ramp comes with Smothering Tithe. It's an enchantment for 3 and a white, and it says whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If the player doesn't, you create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. 2 mana is a lot to pay for every single card draw, so this is going to make us a ton of treasure tokens. With the amount of treasures that this can make, this can really help us get ahead and stay ahead. Next up, let's add in Generous Gift, Duel's Heritage, and Coastal Piracy. Generous Gift says destroy target permanent, its controller creates a 3/3 green elfin creature token. This is a fantastic piece of removal that can pretty much deal with anything, and a 3/3 is no big deal. Duel's Heritage is an enchantment that costs 2 and a white, and it says whenever 1 or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until end of turn. So first of all, this can give our unblockable token double strike. But on top of that, we can actually use this in a political way too. When our opponents attack, we can make a deal with them to not attack us and we'll give one of their creatures double strike. And then there's Coastal Piracy, which is an enchantment for 2 blue. It says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. This is essentially just another version of Binding of Thassa, but without that activate ability, but it's still worth it for this deck. Up next, let's upgrade some token effects with Idol of Oblivion, Fairy Artisans, and Right of Replication. Idol of Oblivion is an artifact that costs 2 that has tap, draw a card, activate this ability only if you created a token this turn. And then it also has pay 8 and tap and sacrifice it to create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi. So this can be a cheap and efficient, repeatable source of card draw for this deck, and it can make us a huge token when we need to. And then Fairy Artisans is a 2/2 flying Fairy Artificer that costs 3 and a blue. It says whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, create a token that's a copy of that creature except it's an artifact addition to other types, then exile all of the tokens created with Fairy Artisans. So first off, this can get us any ETBs or LTBs of pretty much all of our opponent's creatures. And we also get to keep that last token around until our opponents play another creature. And that may just be a big threat that we can pump and make unblockable. Next up, there's Right of Replication, which is a sorcery for 2 blue, but it's got kicker 5. It says put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target creature. If Right of Replication was kicked, put 5 of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. This can be an absolutely game-ending card in the right situation. With this upgraded budget, we're also going to be upgrading our lands though. First up, we're going to add in Cathedral of War, Mirror Pool, and Mirrored Landscape. Cathedral of War comes into play tapped, and it only taps for a colorless, but it's got Exalted. So whenever a creature we control attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This deck's going to be attacking with just 1 creature, plenty throughout the game. And then Mirror Pool also comes into play tapped, and it taps for a colorless, but we can pay 2 and a colorless and tap and sacrifice it to copy target instant or sorcery spell we control, and we can choose new targets for the copy. Or we can pay 4 and a colorless and tap and sacrifice it to put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target creature we control. So obviously this card can help us out in multiple ways depending on the situation that we're in. It can copy one of our key instant or sorcery spells, or it can copy one of our creatures. And then Mirrored Landscape also comes into play tapped and taps for a color, so we can pay 2 and tap and sacrifice it to get 2 basics that share land type into play tapped. So this land can help us fix as well as ramp. And finally, let's add in Command Tower and Exotic Orchard. Command Tower can tap for either of our colors, and Exotic Orchard can tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. So essentially, most of the time it's going to tap for either of our colors. But since we're adding some cards in, we've got to take some out. So first up, we're going to take out a few of our mana rocks with Sphere of the Suns, Azorius Locket, and Hedron Archive. The pieces of ramp that we added in the upgrades are simply better than these. And then we're going to take out Forsake the Worldly, Epiphany of the Drownyard, and Deep Fathom Skulker. We're simply adding in better card advantage as well as target removal in the upgrades. We're also going to be taking out Dance of Many, Back from the Brink, and True Conviction. Each of these can just be a bit too expensive for what they do. We've got more efficient ways to gain value in our upgrades. And finally, because of the lands that we added in, we're going to take out 3 islands and 2 plains. And now that we've gone through every single card in this deck, let's do a quick price check. A quick reminder that our deck costs are calculated using TCGplayer optimization, optimizing with even heavily played and damaged cards because those cards need a home too. The average Temmet EDH rec deck will set you back $157.87. Even with all of our upgrades, our deck is still going to be more affordable, coming in at $99.54. Again, the price of this deck is the price that I got for it on the day that I'm recording. If you want to see a breakdown of this deck's cost, check out the link in the description. Keep in mind that prices can and will fluctuate and change over time. But with these deck costs, I want to be as transparent as I possibly can. And now it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what you think about this deck and what you think about the commander in general. And make sure you're following us on social media for more updates and sneak peeks on future episodes. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons who help make this show possible. I truly couldn't do any of this without your support. If you want to support this channel directly, consider becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, including being able to vote on future commanders for deck techs. There are even tiers where you get your own personalized deck tech dedicated to you. You can check out all the Patreon tiers and rewards at patreon.com/commandersquarters. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about budget commander. So while you're at it, go ahead and check out some of our other types of episodes. And with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again and have a good one.